You know, one of the best things about sports and physical education is teamwork. But what's interesting is that for a long time, teamwork wasn't really taught in PE. It just kind of happened by chance. Some students naturally worked together and others didn't. The cooperative learning model completely changed that. It made teamwork and collaboration intentional, not accidental. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. How cooperative learning reshaped the way we teach and learn in PE. Before this model was introduced, PE looked a lot like traditional sports instruction. Teachers demonstrated a skill, students practiced it, and then they played a game at the end. It was very teacher-centered and focused on individual performance. Students were often grouped randomly, and usually one or two kids dominated the activity while others hung back. So, while some students got really good at physical skills, others felt left out and unmotivated. There wasn't much opportunity for students to learn how to work together, communicate, or problem solve as a team. PE was about performance, not connection. Cooperative learning was developed to flip that. The cooperative learning model was built on the work of educational researchers David and Roger Johnson, along with Shlomo Sharon and others during the 1970s and 80s. Their research wasn't limited to PE. It came from broader classroom learning. They found that when students learned together rather than competing against each other, their motivation, social skills, and academic achievement all improved. In physical education, this idea was championed by people like Peter Hasty and Dyson, who helped adapt the model for movement and sports settings. The goal was simple: make PE more inclusive, social, and empowering. They wanted every student, not just the athletic ones, to feel valued and responsible for their group success. The purpose of cooperative learning is to use teamwork as the main pathway for learning. It's not just about getting students to work together. It's about teaching them how to depend on one another in meaningful ways. The rationale behind it is that physical education isn't only about physical skills. It's also about social and emotional learning. When students collaborate, they build communication, trust, empathy, and leadership. Instead of measuring success by who's the fastest or strongest, cooperative learning focuses on how well students support each other to reach a common goal. Now, let's break down what this model actually looks like. Cooperative learning revolves around 5 key elements that make it work. Number 1, positive interdependence. This means students rely on each other to succeed. Everyone has a role to play. For example, during a group fitness challenge, one student might track reps, another might demonstrate the movement, and others may provide encouragement or feedback. Number 2 is individual accountability. Even though students work in teams, each person is still responsible for contributing. No one can just sit back and coast. Everyone's efforts matters. Number 3, face-to-face interactions. Students must communicate directly, whether that's discussing strategies in a game or helping each other correct form. This promotes real teamwork instead of silent cooperation. Number 4, interpersonal and small group skills. These are the social skills students need to make the group function. Things like active listening, leadership, compromise, and encouragement. Lastly, number 5 is group processing. This is reflection. At the end of class, students discuss what worked, what didn't, and how they can improve as a group. So if we put that all together, a cooperative learning lesson might start with the teacher giving a challenge, like designing a creative relay or solving a fitness puzzle. The students work together to plan, perform, and then reflect on how they did as a team. The teacher acts as more of a facilitator, stepping back and letting the students take ownership. The learning goals of this model go way beyond physical skill. Yes, students are still learning to move, to play, and to stay active, but they're also developing social responsibility, confidence, and empathy. The pedagogy here is the student-centered. Teachers set the framework, but the students take the lead. This can be hard at first because it means giving up some control, but once students understand the expectations, the results are amazing. You see quieter students step into leadership roles, and groups start holding each other accountable. For example, I might say to a group, your task is to create a short fitness circuit that includes cardio, strength, and flexibility. You'll need to agree on exercises, organize timing, and present it to the class. Right away, they're practicing communication, teamwork, and creativity, all while learning about fitness. Research on cooperative learning in PE is really strong. Studies show that it boosts motivation, engagement, and student enjoyment. It also reduces anxiety for students who might otherwise feel intimidated by competitive settings. One study found that when PE teachers use cooperative learning units, students develop stronger peer relationships and show more willingness to help each other. Another found improvements in problem solving and empathy. What's really powerful is that these social skills often carry over outside of class. Students learn how to collaborate in other subjects, sports teams, and even at home. There are so many creative ways teachers use this model. In a volleyball unit, for example, instead of rotating through drills, students might work in teams to design their own skill stations. One for passing, one for setting, and one for serving. Each team teaches their stations to others. Or in a fitness setting, students could plan and lead a circuit for their classmates, taking on roles like coach, motivator, or timekeeper. In a cooperative game, success might depend on every player completing the task rather than just one team scoring more points. In all these examples, the focus isn't winning, it's on problem solving, teamwork, and shared responsibility. In today's world, cooperative learning feels more relevant than ever. We live in a time where communication, collaboration, and empathy are essential life skills. PE gives us a perfect space to develop those. When students learn through cooperation, they gain confidence, respect differences, and build stronger connections. It also aligns beautifully with the social emotional learning and inclusive education. It gives every student, no matter their ability, a meaningful role. And from a teaching perspective, it makes the gym feel more like a community. Instead of being the center of attention, I become a guide who helps students discover their strengths together. So, to wrap it up, cooperative learning transforms PE from a space of competition into a space of connection. It's about learning with others, not just beside them. And that shift from individual success to shared success is what makes this model so powerful. It teaches teamwork for the court, but also for life. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my presentation.